welcome back, everybody. It's time to meet our community, the Hispanic business community here in Orange County. Powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio. Streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center. With the man, he's always streaming something somewhere, John Gutierrez.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our community podcast show powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, where our community is your community. I'm your host, Mr. John Gutierrez here, Senior Vice President at the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We have another special guest today, a dear friend, a community leader. I like to call him a community hero. 25 years in the optics business, owner of the eyeglass store of OC, along with his wife, Valerie, who are the founders, a family-owned business. They also donate thousands of pairs of glasses every year, and throughout the many years, they also do a really cool thing in the community where both himself and his wife dress up as Santa Claus and Miss Claus, and they do so much for the kids in the community. Let's welcome Mr. Victor Vasquez.
Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks for being here, Victor.
Hopefully I can share something that brings joy to your day.
Yes. And just relax. Don't feel the pressure.
I'm good. A little nervous every time you get behind a camera. I'm like...
You're good. There's only two cameras looking at you.
I know. I saw myself in yours, and I do want to say I'm actually not that heavy. It adds 10 pounds.
Well, if you guys know Victor, he's definitely into fitness, right, Victor?
Since a kid, since 15 years old, I always got into weight training. And I enjoy lifting. I always had a home gym, competed amateur, and done triathlon competitions. I mean,
And you train people currently in your gym.
I don't anymore. I did during COVID. I like I said, I always had a home gym, but during COVID, I went crazy. I think as many people did with their home gym community.
Yes.
And I have a full gym at home, 3 power racks, full sets, 1,000 pounds. I mean, it's just insane. But I don't
call it a home gym. I just call it a gym.
It's a gym.
It's nice.
But I put it together for my wife and her friends who've been here before.
Yes.
Rosie, Maria, and Paula.
Yes, you've had all three. That's right.
Yeah, and
that's
so
right.
they used to come over and work out, and from there it just kind of took off into a whole nother thing. So during COVID, yes, I took on personal clients that I trained.
Yes, and you have a name for it, right? What do you call the team?
I call it the 3-Step Dance Studio.
Okay.
There's absolutely no dancing going on there. I'll briefly, because a lot of people have asked me this, and this is really
They think it's a Zumba?
Well, I've always got people messaging me, man, what kind of dancing do you guys do there? We do no dancing. It's a workout studio, but the name came because my son in the 8th grade,
okay,
he had and you guys got to be from the 80s to get this.
Okay.
He had asked me, he told me he was going to a dance, an 8th grade dance, and he didn't know how to dance. He needed a little help. And so I told him, like any dad would,
yes,
son, you're so fortunate because your father is the creator of the 3-step dance move. And I went on and to tell him it's a 3-step dance move, just 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just got to move forward and backwards.
If you're not watching, folks, and you're listening, he's basically doing like the cumbia or the cha-cha-cha.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 forward, 1, 2, 3 back, right?
Yeah, and I told him, son, this is a 3-step dance move I invented, I created, and it goes with any genre of music. If you want rap, if you want disco, you just either increase the pace, downplay it a little bit, whichever you want, but it's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And my son, like, he was like learning. He
got it, huh? That's good.
And the next day he comes home and he's like, Dad, the dance was awesome. My friends and I, we were all doing a 3-step dance move. And
That's
I was
awesome.
laughing because it was just something I made up the night before. It was no truth to it. It was,
I gotta use that one with my son Jonathan. I gotta use it, man. I'm gonna steal it.
But it reminded me of the reason I thought of it because we had just watched. I think it's Can't Buy Me Love.
Okay.
Great
movie, by the way.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
Where the brothers trying to learn how to dance for the school dance.
Yes.
and his brother accidentally switches the channel, and he's learned some kind of a mating ritual dance instead of the dance he was trying to learn. So anyways, that popped into my mind when my son asked me, so I just made that up.
I will say your gym from the workouts, from what I hear, were nothing close to being dancing. I mean, there's some hardcore working out there. And to your credit, during the pandemic, I will say that there's a lot of people you really impacted and helped, because you created on Facebook a group, right?
A couple of Myra Ruiz, Knights Towing. There's a accountability group on social media. It grew up to, I think right now, a little over 300 people.
Yeah, on Facebook. They can go follow.
On Facebook. And we would put workouts together for people to kind of learn at home.
Yes.
We started, this was back when you had started your own weight loss journey.
Yeah, I started a journey of trying to lose 40 pounds because I was diagnosed pre-diabetic during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I wanted to hit those 10,000 steps a day. And you and I started talking about that.
So that's what we started. We started with that 10,000 steps a day challenge. Yes. And then every month we had a new challenge, 100 squats a day, whatever it was.
Yes.
And people started really participating. We started doing outings. I don't know if I can speak Spanish, but a mí me gusta el argüende, so we're out.
That means he likes the fun craziness.
Yeah. I like the chisme, the gossip. I like hanging out with people and just living and enjoying my day, my life. That we're blessed with every day, and so we would get together. We had outings that we would put on there. We would go do the Fullerton Stairs, 3 miles at the beach, and stuff like that. That way, a lot of people from different areas would join us on Saturdays.
Yes.
And it was interesting. We had a lot of people that lost, I think up to 70 pounds during that time.
That's awesome.
I have a good friend. I don't not think I'm at liberty to share who, but a great friend that went from not being able to run that one block to doing a half marathon.
That's awesome.
And I'm very proud of you. You know who you are.
Yes, we know who he is, and keep it up. And, Vic, I want to shift gears real quick and just really go into, every time we have a guest, we like to just learn about them. I know you grew up in Santana, right? Can you tell us a little bit about you as a person, where you grew up, and just we'll get into also the story, of course, of how you started the eyeglass store. But if you can share that with us, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in Santa Ana. I grew up on Townsend Street. Anyone with an internet device can look that up. It's probably definitely one of the toughest places in Santa Ana.
Yes.
I was there until probably about the age of 8. From there, I moved over to First and Flower, where most of my joyful, youthful years...
Next to Santa High School.
Next to Santa High School.
I know where that is.
Took place. But, I was... I always say I was your normal kid in Santa Ana.
Yes.
But the more I share stories about my upbringing and the way I grew up...
In the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Late 80s.
80s,
right?
80s, yeah, mid-80s and 90s. The more I find out it wasn't normal because we were all involved.
But we didn't know any different.
We didn't know any different. That's what we grew up with.
Exactly.
In our neighborhood, it was what it was. And,
yes. We had mutual friends, which is kind of crazy. We later found out that you were hanging with some of the same friends I was hanging with in Santa Ana.
We grew up about 6 blocks apart.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
But it's funny how it's a typical story, I guess, if you look at the way, I guess it depends on your perspective on it, but I don't want to get too much into my personal life, but we grew up a few blocks apart. You went off to college and university, and I grew up in juvenile hall and jail. So it was just so close, different upbringing, I think, to some extent.
But I think it's important people understand who you are as a man today is very different than who you were as a young man growing up. Obviously, you learned a lot of how to work hard and the struggle, right? But you've evolved into this great dad, great husband, great businessman, philanthropist. You give a lot back to the community. And that's really where I want you to also share with us, how did you end up in the optics industry? Because you do so much. I mean, our nurses, a lot of them went to buy glasses from you. I've had family members go to you. Mm-hmm. How did you end up in this industry? And again, folks, we're We're here with Victor Vasquez, 25 years in optics. The Eyeglass store of OC is his business, owned by him, the founder, and his wife, Valerie. And they donate thousands of pairs of glasses every year. Share with us how you ended up in this industry, and of course, a member of our Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
We were just talking about this a few minutes ago, and I say that I ended up in this industry by divine intervention. My life at the time was definitely not where I wanted it to be, but it was. I was, I guess, used to seeing, But I did have a young lady who approached me at probably my toughest time. And again, divine intervention, because the way her and I met was not in your most typical conversational way. I was up to no good. And
you were at a tough time in your life,
tough
basically.
time in my life, and I just was up to no good at the time. And this woman approached me, perfect stranger, and spoke to me, handed me her card, spoke to me of an optical program that was going to start, and she said I might be interested in this program. Up until then, I mean, I was about 19, and I never was a good student. I disliked school. I always at war with my principals and teachers. I just wasn't student material, if you would,
Education wasn't a priority, maybe,
it was not
right?
a priority for me, but the way I was growing up in my neighborhood, I didn't need school at the time, is how I felt. I have a dream. I see everybody else making it the way they're making it, and I'm going to make it in the same way. But it was the same aggression, I guess, and determination that, I took the card, I enrolled in classes, and this was back in 1995. Graduated, and I've been board certified and licensed optician ever since.
But you took the initiative. I mean, let's be real here. If you don't take the initiative, if you don't say I'm going to go to this, right, it never happens.
Yeah, it's the saying. I mean, you could lead a horse to water, but and I was offered an opportunity that I'm very grateful. Now 25 plus years later, that I took advantage of it. I say divine intervention because, as I shared with you guys earlier, I kind of was at a crossroads where I said, God, at the time I was never been a very prayerful person. I grew up Catholic, as I think most of us in Santa Ana do, but I wasn't a very faithful person, very devout, and at the time I was just kind of at my last, wit's end, that you would, whatever.
I know you mentioned to me earlier you had like 69 cents in your pocket. It was a really tough time in your life. Yeah. You were struggling probably to eat, to live, to survive.
Yeah. To elaborate on that, if you don't mind, I don't mind. I've shared my story with many people. I grew up in Santa Ana. Age of 12, I was in and out of juvenile hall. I went on from juvenile hall to county, and then state. That was my youth. Those were my teen years. So yeah, at the time I had just gotten out of county. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I was not happy. I wasn't at a loss in direction. And by divine intervention, I met this woman who I'm thankful that I took the card. I took the initiative, and I went back to school. Something I never liked. I always hated.
Did you ever run into this lady again? Do you know who she is?
Oh, yeah. I haven't kept in touch with her because I didn't feel like it was. I didn't feel at the time that our meeting was that important or impactful.
But what a blessing!
Years down the line, I spoke to some kids. One of Roman Reina's groups.
Yes.
At Saddleback High School, I spoke and I shared my story with them. And this was a few years back, a couple years. And that's kind of when it hit me, like, oh my gosh, back then, at the time that what I was going through in my life, I remember saying, God, you got to help me.
Yes.
That's how I met this woman.
It's amazing.
The very next day I met this woman, and I realized, wow, my prayer was answered, and I'm glad again I took that initiative. Now I'm here.
And I notice you like to bless others now because you have a foundation.
Yeah.
Share with us about the foundation, if you may, please.
Yeah. Well, growing up the way we did is I know what it's like when your parents have to struggle to get things for you. So we did put together a nonprofit for something as simple as your eyeglasses. Yourself, and other friends of ours, we're all involved in trying to give back to the community as much as we can.
Yes.
Like you said, just to bless others, be a blessing for others. And we do have a Visionary is our nonprofit. Through that, we donate right now on average about 1,000 pairs of glasses every year. That's
awesome.
For students.
That's awesome.
And elderly people who cannot afford to
low
pay
income,
for them.
basically low income families, low income kids, right?
Yeah, I don't even want to bring the income, because a lot of the times it's just you simply cannot afford it for whatever other reason.
Yes.
Your parents nowadays, I mean, you could be making a lot of money, but most of it is going in bills, and that's not really a priority.
Exactly.
I had, for example,
financial hardship, let's call it, right?
I had my daughter. We work with the school teachers mostly, nurses. They refer the patient. They know the students better than anyone.
Exactly.
And if that student needs, glasses, and they see the student with the same clothes every day, they understand there's a problem. So they refer them to us.
That's great.
We do what we can. Give them the free glasses. We are self-funded, and we do that with the support of our community. If you guys come buy glasses from us, we take a percentage of that and we apply it to a lot of the stuff that we do, not just the glasses. But
for those of you just tuning in, Victor Vasquez is with us today, 25 years in optics, owner of the eyeglass store of OC. Him and his wife, Valerie, are the founders of this family-owned business, which donates 1,000 pairs of glasses every year. This is the reason why, folks, you must support businesses like his, because in return, he's helping also donate to the community, to both the elderly and children that need glasses. And I think that's amazing, Victor, that you do that. Let's also talk about a little bit about, if you don't mind going into the whole, it's really cool. We notice you're growing out the beard. I know the show's only 30 minutes, so I have to jump into different topics here that it's really cool. We almost put that photo on the flyer, but it's a great photo of you and your wife. You're dressed as Santa Claus. She's dressed as Mrs. Claus. Share with us what that's about, how it all started, because I think it's great what you're doing with that.
As a member of Santa Ana Kiwanis, and support your local Santa Ana Kiwanis, kids need Kiwanis.
That's right.
Santa Ana Kiwanis, every year during Christmas, during the holidays, they donate toys to schools, to special needs students in the district. And so a couple years back, it's been a few years now, I dressed up as Santa Claus, and we went out with the club to give the toys out to kids. And I just saw how it was a great experience. I mean, kids love the Santa Claus and all that stuff. But I had one incident where there was a young lady at, I think it's Valley High School. She yanked my beard. But every year she would have a letter for Santa, and I think she had a little crush on Santa. But it was so cute because she would always come to me. She would make me read the letter she wrote every year. And when she another student yanked my beard, she kind of freaked out. And I said, you know what, man, why do I wear this fake beard? I think...
Oh, so you were wearing a fake beard at the time?
Yeah, at the time it was a fake beard. And I said, I'm just going to grow one. I've never had facial hair.
That's right.
Up.
Your photo on here doesn't have any facial hair on the flyer.
And I know it makes me look older. Side story, there's countless times when my wife and I will walk into a restaurant, and they'll tell my wife, go ahead and follow your dad,
because you look so much older.
I look so much older than her, and my wife is she's a Chinese descendant, so she's Asian descendant, and looks young.
Yes,
but anyways,
great genes, right?
Great genes, yeah.
Great skin, right?
Great genes. She has her great grandfather's about 106. So youthful appearance as well.
On that note of the when you dress up as Santa, I know Kiwanis does this yearly, right?
Yes.
And they've been doing it for many years, right? And they go to, is it like a Target, right? They have about 100 kids, if I'm correct.
Yes. So every year, and we do reach out to businesses or local people that want to sponsor kids. Every student from the district gets $100 as for their shopping list. And then we take volunteers who take them shopping at the Target in Santa Ana on Bristol and Alton.
Yes.
Target waives all taxes. That way kids can spend more of the $100 bill on their shopping list. Or if you want to sponsor one of the kids, last year I believe there were 75 kids that were sponsored.
Yes.
But I will share something really quick with you is some of these kids that come into the Target, for example, my wife and I, if we're bored at home and it's too hot these days, we'll go walk around Target just to waste time. And when you get a 10-year-old coming into Target saying, wow, I've never been to Target, the rich people hang out over here.
Isn't it crazy
it's
how
very humbling?
Yes,
and it's an experience that you at least want to have, so that you can be grateful for what you have. But I mean, you want to help them, man.
Yeah,
you want to help them, and a lot of these kids come in. I know one
they
year
appreciate it. They really appreciate
100%.
it.
I had one young lady that shopped her list for her mom's siblings. Nothing for her, but we insisted she get something for her, and what she bought was a pair of shoes, and what she was wearing was 2 sizes too small, so she had the heel tucked in.
Wow.
I mean, these were her shoes, and it's Christmas, it's cold, it's rainy.
Yes.
So she wanted leather, those kind of Converse type shoes, skater shoes, skateboarder shoes. Mm-hmm. And so she ended up getting 2 pairs, but when she put those on,
well,
her face.
Kudos to Kiwanis for doing this every year. 100%. Folks, please support the Kiwanis in Santa Ana or in your local community. Also, of course, thank you, Victor, for doing that with your wife. How did you end up at the Chamber? We only have a few minutes left, but how did you end up with us at the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce?
I had over my whole experience in optics. I've had different locations. I also took a little break for a while, and when I came back to optics, kind of having a hard time trying to figure out how to start everything again, and I came across a few posts from the Chamber. And I figured, you know what? Last time it took me 15 years to bring up as much attention and build up my clients. I got to think a little smarter. I was brought into the Chamber at one of your events through the Life and Hope Foundation.
Yes, at my foundation center, was it?
At your foundation center,
yes.
Along with Luis Mier and Carlos Muñiz.
Yeah, we used to have little events there, networking events.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we ended up there, and at the time, I thought it was just networking, but when I learned more and got more involved with the Chamber, there's a lot more that the Chamber can do for, if you are a business owner, reach out to your local Chamber. Hispanic Chamber is great. You guys work in conjunction with the SPDC together to help businesses through different programs. I mean, I'm now UCLA alumni.
That's awesome.
Through some of the programs we went through.
That's awesome.
And
good for you, Victor.
So it's a lot of different things. The Chamber is not just dinner events and chit chats. It's a lot. If you're serious about your business, get involved.
Yes, Victor. I know it's gone by so fast. 30 minutes goes by so fast, folks. Again, we want to thank Victor Vasquez, 25 years in the optics, owner of the Eyeglass store of Orange County. Both his wife, Valerie, and Victor have founded this business. It's been how many years since you started it?
It's been about 25 years.
25 years. So you can imagine, folks, how many pairs of glasses they have donated, thousands and thousands and thousands. Please support his business. Victor, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you and being on the show. Any final last words?
No, just like I said a minute ago, just, if you guys want to learn more about how you can impact your community, everybody has a dream, everybody has a plan, and you just don't know where to start when it comes to taking action. Reach out to the Chamber. There's a lot of mentors here that can provide you that first step. In sales, we always say the hardest door to get through is your front door.
Exactly.
And I mean, once you get out there and you start networking with business professionals, you'll be glad you did it today.
Thank you, Victor. And on that note, folks, in order to get in a hold of us or get in contact with us, go to ochcc.com or go to our Instagram, which is just simply OCHCC. Or you could also go to our Facebook page, Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We do have our golf tournament coming up August 30th. So we're almost sold out. If you want to be a part of that, reach out to us. Thank you, Victor, for being here. We really appreciate all you do in the community. Shout out to your wife and to your kids. And continue all success, brother. I
appreciate it, and nothing could be possible without the support of our patients, our customers, and the Chamber.
All right, Victor. All right, folks, here you have it. Our community podcast show powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, where our community is your community. Paul, take it away. See you all next week.
Well, there you have it. Some moving examples of how you can get moving in your business. Powered by the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Right here on Meet Our Community. Streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.